If it's an NFL draft, it means that LSU is present and prominent. There is no question about that, with some of the best talent in college football ascending to the next level. Got Lon Philip Sullivan on the line from LSU Odyssey, so check him out and his work there covering the Bayou Bengals like few others. Lon, how are we doing tonight?
Doing fantastic. Mark, how are you, my man? Go Tigers.
I'm doing great. And Joe Burrow's doing better these days, knowing that he's reunited with one of his favorite targets. So at the top of the draft, the 5th selection in the first round, a lot of speculation regarding helping out Joe Burrow, but whether that would be an offensive lineman or a weapon on the outside. And it turned out to be his old buddy, Jamar Chase.
Yeah, and here's the thing: it's the right pick. Everyone's going to cry foul, say they should have went with the protection guy. You shouldn't be leaving Joe Burrow writhing on the ground. Here's the thing: they did exactly what they needed to. Cincinnati. This is a fantastic draft here from the Bengals. Jamar Chase, he's that guy who Joe can get that ball out to in 1 or 2 seconds. He's that guy who can beat any DB in the league right now. I have a feeling he's got the core, he's got the strength, the aerial assassin in him to do it. But not only that, but Jamar Chase is the perfect weapon to free up this offense, and that in a way also is a perfect protection for Joe too. And it also gives his really bad offensive line last year a lot more confidence, a lot more room to breathe. It frees up Joe Mixon underneath, but you got Tyler Boyd, who had just under 2,000 yards just in the last 2 years receiving. And then, of course, T. Higgins, who should be good at any point. I mean, a huge high draft pick there out of Clemson. He should come good at some point, you'd expect. But Jamar is going to free up for other guys. That's the thing about Jamar Chase. He put up outrageous numbers: 20 touchdowns, 21.2 yards per catch. Just under 1,800 yards receiving, and we barely even saw Jamar play more than a full season at LSU, a season in 4 games, and he was just automatic. LSU did not lose a game when he started. That says everything. He wins games for his team, but Mark, I really feel like Jamar, he's going to free it up. He's going to free up Joe Burrow as well. But look at, say, for example, Justin Jefferson against Oklahoma. Jamar Chase was just ripping teams apart. But then Justin Jefferson comes out of nowhere, gets 4 touchdowns and to take his tally to 18 on the season. And everyone's, oh, whoa, the spotlight suddenly goes on to Justin. How did that happen? Well, it was because Jamar is freeing up that space and, dragging all that attention. I really feel like this is the great pick. They got a bunch of protection in the draft. Jackson Carman out of Clemson, Dante Smith, who had a great season with Eastern Carolina, and Georgia center Trey Hill. I mean, that's solid depth right there. We'll see if they come good. But also Thad Moss at tight end, Mark. He has very underrated protection skills to his game as well. A beastly defensive end at his time in high school. I think that helped in his protection skills at LSU, and you're going to see that as well. One of the reasons LSU picked him up in free agency. But yeah, Mark, I feel like Jamar Chase, that's the perfect pick. They had to make that pick. You just can't pass up that guy.
In addition to the obvious talent on the field, it was interesting to get the behind-the-scenes story of Jamar having to talk to Ed Ogeron when he made the decision to opt out for 2020. And you're going to be able to speak to that much better than I did. But it was a very emotional conversation that the two had when Jamar Chase didn't want to let his team down, but also had some significant COVID issues in his family.
Yes, I believe he had asthma problems as well, and it was a very dangerous thing that he revealed to NFL Network, I believe it was, in an exclusive interview with them. He had to tell Coach Orgeron, right when it was turning into August, out of nowhere. It felt, because Jimmy Chase, Jamar's father, as well as Jamar, even though barely can get a word out of him during his time at LSU, But Jimmy Chase had said many times, you know, Jamar is going to play the season. He wants to play this season. And that was the plan. But, you know, once he saw the ramifications of what, you know, the players were dealing with that year, I think he made the right choice. It was sad not to see him play another year at LSU. But that's LSU in a nutshell right there, Mark. So many great Tigers where it was just shoulda, woulda, coulda as well on top of it, where it's like, wow, they only played basically one full season at LSU. This is incredible. You know, there's a lot of guys like that. Michael Brockers, he's almost been in the league a decade now, and I think he only had like one season starting at LSU. That's just one tiny example.